Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the hopefully final edition of Bedtime Stories with Sidnee. I'm Sidnee, if you didn't catch that. Hi. So, picking up on page 18. As she approached the station, a train came roaring up the tracks. Jenny scrambled to the station roof in time to see the train stop right below her. It was a train from New York City, the very train on which she herself had traveled the day before. On the train steps stood the train conductor with two covered baskets in his hands, and when the teacher hurried to the platform, Jenny held her breath. The train conductor gave the baskets to the teacher, saying, "Here are two new pupils, Florio and Tiger James. They're quite a lovely pair." "I know well," replied the teacher. "They've been to school before, but oh, conductor, the little black cat that you brought yesterday has run away." "Not Captain Tinker's cat," exclaimed the train conductor. "Dear me, the captain will be very worried." "There's the train. Choo-choo." Then the train, with the warning toot, started up the tracks while Jenny, on the roof, began to feel ashamed of having run away. Besides, the two new cats were the most attractive cats she had ever seen, but she could only see their faces at the windows of the baskets. One cat was golden color. His name was Florio. He seemed so beautiful and kind that Jenny's little heart went pitter-patter. She would have been glad to follow Florio to the end of the wide, wide world. She hung on every word he said. He said to his companion, who was a striped cat named Tiger James, "Oh, Tiger, didn't we have fun at school last summer when we were chasing that rooster?" "We sure did," chuckled Tiger James. "And do you remember how we used to swap beds? All the lovely pillow fights," laughed Florio. "There's Florio and Tiger James." "Hi, guys." "And all the pillows that burst," laughed Tiger James. "Oh," thought Jenny. Well, probably not like that. "Oh," thought Jenny. "School must be fun when Florio and Tiger James are there." Then Florio said to Tiger James, "I wonder what new cats will be at school this summer. I hope there's some regular fellows," said Tiger James. "I'm looking forward to lots of good times." At this point, the teacher put the two gay students into the school car. And come on, guys, this means gay as in happy. At this point, the teacher put the two gay students into the school car, and as they drove down the country road, poor little Jenny wished with all her heart that she were going with them. I'd love to see the pillow fight," she sighed. "I'd love to climb the apple trees and chase the rooster." The more she thought, the more she reasoned with herself this way. "Captain Tinker wanted me to go to school. He'll be very disappointed in me if I run away. I ought to go back. I will go back. I'll just say to Pickles, I'll say..." Jenny didn't know what she would say to the big spotted creature Pickles, who had chased her with his hook and ladder, frightening her and made her run from the schoolyard. He was too big to fight with her paws, and she knew she must do something. "I must not let him tease me," Jenny told herself. "I must make Pickles understand that I am I. But how do I do it? I shall think about it on my way to school." She climbed carefully down the vine behind the station and began to follow the traces of the school car in the dusty road. Probably she would have soon reached school if a motorcycle had not sped up the road. Jenny thought that somebody was trying to catch her. If she were caught, how could she Jenny thought that somebody was trying to catch her. If she were caught, how could she explain that she belonged to a school? It would be better to take no chances. She leaped from the road and tore across the daisy fields as fast as her black legs would carry her. She did not stop until she reached the forest. "I'll hide here," she decided. Look at Jenny run. Jenny had never been in a forest, but strangely enough, she was not frightened. The odd smell oozing from the earth and trees delighted her. The farther she went, the more forest seemed like something that had happened to her long ago. Night was falling, and the cats at school would soon be on their little beds. "Won't they be surprised when I get back and I tell them what I've seen in a forest?" Jenny thought. "Won't Pickles be surprised? Perhaps I ought to take some small things with me, just to show where I've been." So she went on and on, looking for a wee, yes, it says wee, like little, like a wee bit. Looking for a wee flower or a small bird's feather and a pretty berry, when suddenly, ahead of her, she saw a bushy-tailed and tremendous fox. Jenny shivered and dashed up the tree, but the old wicked fox had heard her. "Yap!" snarled the fox. "Yap, yap!" But when she turned to find her, she had climbed so high among the leaves and branches he could not see her, nor could he understand what kind of beast she was. This fox knew all the forest animals. He could tell them by their smells, but the smell which drifted through the air from Jenny's fur were smells he did not know. They were smells of the boarding school and trains in New York City. The fox became so muddled that after a while he went scowling into his den. Then Jenny climbed to the earth so quietly that nobody but the birds could hear her, and by running quickly she got safely through the forest. The morning sun was rising as she skipped across the daisy fields. No one saw her as she hurried down the road. She reached the school in time for breakfast with the other pupils. To her joy, her place in the breakfast row was between the two new cats, Florio and Tiger James, whom she had seen when she was hiding at the station. Down the row was Pickles. In his own queer way, Pickles was as glad as anyone to have the little lost cat back. But all that he could think of was running into the parlor and bringing out his hook and ladder. When he reached the breakfast room, he paused in the doorway, leaning his elbow on the steering wheel and gazing at Jenny. Oh dear, thought Jenny. He's going to try it again to drive me away from school. He's going to make me lose my fun. Lose my fun? Okay, continuing. But Florio whispered to her, "Show him who you are. We'll help you if you need us." Tiger James said, "We're your friend." Tiger James said, "We're your friends." These two new friends gave Jenny courage, and when Pickles honked his horn at Jenny, she bared her claws, like this. This is bearing claws. Pickles looked straight at Jenny, shouted, "Make way for the hook and ladder!" Jenny, looking straight at Pickles, shouted, "Make way for the biggest fire on earth!" She flew at him so madly that you could see fire spurting from her ears. Big Pickles ducked and Jenny struck the ladder. The truck toppled over with Pickles beneath it. He crawled out finally, and rising slowly to his feet, gazed in admiration at the little black cat who had upset his hook and ladder. After a moment, he held out his paw and said to her, "You win." Never again did Pickles chase Jenny with his hook and ladder. Aw, they might be friends now. Never again did he tease any little cat. He saved his rough tricks for the cats as big as he was. As for the littler cats, he tried not to tease them, but to please them. This was the beginning of his education. This was also the beginning of one of the happiest summers Jenny ever had. She shared in all the good times of her schoolmates, climbing the apple trees, and went on picnics. On the closing day of school, when the pupils were getting ready to go home, Pickles, who was returning to the fire department, said to Jenny, "Jenny, why don't you visit me sometime? You'd like the fire department. I could take you on a real, true hook and ladder. To a real fire. True fire." "Oh, Pickles," Jenny cried. "I'd love to." A warm glow filled her heart because she realized that the friendship she had made at school would last forever. And that, my friends, is the end. Good night.